This is the Pna Headlines. I am William Theo. Here are today's top stories. The government is ramping up efforts to improve working conditions across the country, according to Finance Secretary Ralph Recto. This as Recto gave assurances that the labor market remains resilient even as recent weather disruptions have led to a rise in unemployment. To counter the impact, the Department of Finance says the government is focusing on expanding rural infrastructure, enhancing digital connectivity, and boosting access to training programs in the agriculture sector. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, the unemployment rate rose to 5.3% in July 2025, up from a 4.7% during the same month last year. That translates to 2.59 million jobless Filipinos, compared to 2.38 million in July 2024. PSA Chief Dennis Mapa pointed to weather disturbances as a major factor, especially affecting workers in agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and construction. In July, the labor force stood at 48.64 million, with 46.05 million employed. The number of new entrants to the labor market also increased from 1.25 million last year to 1.7 million this year. Job creation continues to be driven by the services sector, which accounts for 62.8% of total employment. Industry follows with 18.7% and agriculture with 18.5%. Meanwhile, the Department of Labor and Employment sees the rise in new workers as a sign of strong labor supply and sustained confidence in the job market. Labor Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma said more employment opportunities are being observed in key sectors, including administrative and support services, transportation and storage, healthcare, manufacturing, and education. However, he noted that workers in agriculture and informal sectors remain most vulnerable to disruptions caused by severe weather. Despite the uptick in unemployment, Laguesma emphasized the figures still reflect a resilient labor market. The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, is monitoring the unrest in Nepal following protests that led to violence and the death of at least 22 people on Monday. The DFA said the Philippine Embassy in New Delhi and Honorary Consulate General in Kathmandu, Nepal, are in close contact with the Filipino community. Meantime, no Filipinos were reported affected by the said unrest. Protesters were holding a rally to decry a wide range of issues, including corruption and a short-lived social media ban, when police opened fire on the crowd. The DFA advises Filipinos to remain in shelter and follow instructions from local authorities. For emergencies or urgent assistance, Filipinos may contact the Honorary Consulate General in Kathmandu via phone, fax, or email. They may also email the Assistance to National section of the Philippine Embassy in India or call via mobile phone, WhatsApp, or Viber. Meanwhile, the Philippine government deplored the Israeli attack in the Qatari capital of Doha and called for an immediate and permanent ceasefire among the parties involved in the conflict. The Israeli airstrike targeted senior Hamas leaders and killed a Qatari security official. In a separate statement, the DFA said the attack in Doha is a grave violation of the fundamental principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity, as stated in the United Nations Charter. It also urged for the parties in the conflict to uphold their obligations under humanitarian law, protect civilians, and ensure a just, lasting, and comprehensive peace in the Middle East. The DFA earlier said none of the more than 220,000 Filipinos in Qatar were directly affected by the said strikes. As the Philippines gears up to host this year's FIVB Men's Volleyball World Championship, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority is taking steps to manage traffic around key venues. The MMDA has temporarily banned mall-wide sales in commercial establishments near the Smart Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City and the SM Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. The ban will be in effect from September 12 to 14 and then again from September 20 to 21 as well as September 27 to 28, coinciding with major match days. Traffic enforcers will be deployed to help maintain order and ensure the safety of visitors. The MMDA says the measure aims to reduce congestion and ease the flow of people attending the tournament. The Philippines is hosting the World Championship for the first time, bringing together teams from 32 countries, along with thousands of delegates, guests, and fans from around the globe. The Department of Health is calling for stronger youth-led peer support groups to help meet the growing need for mental health services and suicide prevention programs across the country. In a Facebook post, the DOH announced the release of its peer support group playbook in 50 provincial and city-level health systems. The playbook includes training modules for peer facilitators along with educational materials designed to promote open conversations about mental health among young people. The department says these peer groups serve as safe spaces where youth can feel heard, understood, and supported, fostering a more inclusive and compassionate community. Based on the agency's 2024 National Assessment of Mental Health Literacy, 2 out of 3 Filipino youth are open to seeking help. The DOH emphasizes that this initiative is a critical step towards timely interventions, reducing stigma, and building a culture of empathy towards and around mental health. In our business news, the province of Ilocos Norte continues to make its mark as one of the country's top tourist destinations, generating an impressive 6.5 million pesos in combined sales at the Philippine Travel Mart, held from September 5 to 7 at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay City. According to the Ilocos Norte Tourism Office, the province recorded 180,000 pesos in food and non-food sales alone, on top of transactions facilitated through various travel agencies during the event. The Ilocos Norte booth also took home the second runner-up award in the provincial and regional category for Best Booth Design, a display inspired by everyday Ilocano life and heritage. It featured local garlic, tobacco leaves, hand-woven textiles, native baskets, clay pots, and other traditional elements. In a statement, Provincial Tourism Officer Recto highlighted that beyond sales, the real value of participations lie in the opportunities to strengthen partnerships, build new connections, and gain insights to guide future tourism initiatives. The Philippine Travel Mart is the country's biggest and longest-running travel trade exhibition organized by the Philippine Travel Operators Association. In other news, electricity rates are set to go down this month. The Manila Electric Company, or Meralco, announced a reduction of 18 centavos per kilowatt hour in power rates for September, mainly due to lower generation charges. In a press briefing, Meralco Vice President and Head of Corporate Communications, Joe Zaldariaga, explained that generation charges dropped by 26 centavos per kilowatt hour, primarily due to lower costs from independent power producers and power supply agreements, or PSAs. However, this was partially offset by higher rates in the wholesale electricity spot market and price adjustments from 2 suppliers, Sewell Power Corporation and South Premier Power Corporation. The adjustment follows a Supreme Court ruling allowing power producers to recover additional fuel costs. Based on this decision, the Energy Regulatory Commission has approved the collection of 5.1 billion pesos over 6 months, starting this September. Currently, PSAs account for 65% of Meralco's supply mix. With a rate cut, residential consumers consuming 200 kilowatt-hour per month can expect to save around 37 pesos on their electricity bill this month. And those are the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Headlines. For more news updates, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. You may also watch the Pna Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under Pna News. Stay with us for more updates. I am William Theo. This is the Pna Headlines, bringing you stories that unite the nation.